Greetings, we are Zebru, Odoo Solutions partner specialized in sustainable solutions aimed at making more people independent in Odoo. And this video is for risk optimization. At first, it sounds odd, but anyone who has created many interfaces or uses them for their company might be on board very quickly. A very big topic, and I'll take an example now, such as an e-commerce seller, is that 99 to 100% of my revenue probably comes from, for example, marketplaces and a shop, or one of the two, a mix of both, definitely into a stock management system, from external systems and thus through an interface. And here I have two very big risks. On one hand, this interface must be a good interface. It should not frequently be down. It should catch many errors, and it should notify when something goes wrong. I want to make up for it when something has gone wrong and not have to constantly tinker or hack a database or something like that. And the second, typically, you give them to your best developer. This can be an external partner, it can be an internal senior, but typically you don't let such an important interface, which underpins and supports your business model, be poorly built, but rather of high quality. And in Zync, both topics are automatically included because the topic of quality is already there. We can show it in the demo, we can show it in references. All monitoring, instantiation, and error detection, timely reporting, catching up, everything is already there. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. We've done that once and integrated it in such a way that every interface, no matter how small, always launches with extremely high quality. And number two is the dependency on third parties or internal teams. It's quite a significant risk if, for example, I only have one expert developer and then they get sick or lose interest, or I have a falling out with my partner, or they somehow switch employers, whether they were with me or my partner. And then, even if I have documented everything well, it can be difficult for someone else to get into it due to their style, or it can simply cost time and money. But in the Zync, once I had a couple of hours to engage with it and play around, every interface, even if there are 40 pipelines here, which is really complex with a lot of code and everything, always follows the same standardized procedure. And I can support an interface that I am seeing for the first time in my life. I could go to anyone today. And I don't need access to Git. I don't need to have any idea how to clone the system. I don't need to dig through code or anything. I go to the Odoo front end and find everything I need to check, modify, maintain, or expand an interface. And it's always the same procedure. I can just go through it in debug mode. A dependency is immediate, dissolved. I can only speak from my own experience. I have spent quite some time providing support for various interfaces in this system, none of which I had implemented myself. Because the principle was that just as someone else must be extremely good at programming for it to be so, it is much quicker to achieve in this system because the process simply follows a linear path. And I know exactly where the problem lies by simply looking in the final instance. It's not somewhere in the code. It's not invisible. It's not a mistake sent somewhere else. It's exactly where I expect it to be and exactly where I solve the problem. And as a result, support is possible for everyone. Again, provided that one had at least a few hours to engage with it. It is a tool developed by us. There is someone who is seeing this for the very first time in their life, naturally not yet able, but that's what videos, training, long-term experience, and example pipelines are for, whatever one needs. And also, a topic is the quality, which is always high. If I have projects that shouldn't cost much money, then maybe make a small interface, and if you're unlucky, it stays forever because it turned out to be a good idea, and then it is as it is. Then I might not want to touch it anymore, as money is already flowing through it. That doesn't exist in Zync. In Zync, even the smallest and simplest interface is always of extremely high quality. Monitoring, instantiation, queue drops, batching, everything I need is always available when I want it and have configured and use it. And as a result, and this is the core of everything I've just said, everything is always understandable and repeatable. Comprehensible in the sense that I understand where it stopped, so to speak, or where it went well. It has now, of course, run successfully. And if that's not the case, then I would see it. And repeatable in the sense that even the instance runs through now. If it turns out that fields were missing and I want to import exactly the same dataset again, I would import it again. It could be that I've already marked it as red or someone has already changed something. We can, so to speak, save the data state. Simply jump back to the middle, add another field, and would once again import the exact same data, now enhanced with an additional field. Mega feature. Yes, I hope I made it clear how Zync reduces risks at interfaces, and I look forward to seeing you.